Hello everyone, my name is Jill and welcome to my channel. I want to apologize already for my regular viewers. This video is not going to be as lighthearted as my videos usually are. Today we're going to be talking about symptoms of sicknesses in fish. Unfortunately, in this hobby, there is a lot of diseases and sicknesses that fish can get, and that's just how it is. Do not feel bad if you have a sick fish. Everyone gets a sick fish every now and then, and your fish could have bad genetics. There could be many reasons why your fish is sick, and it's not necessarily your fault. So don't beat yourself up over it. Everyone gets a sick fish every once in a while. All right, you guys, let's get into it. These are 10 signs that you might have a sick fish. The first symptom on this list is loss of color. Everyone's seen a pale fish. Usually in the mornings before we turn on our aquarium lights, our fish are very, very pale, so that in itself does not mean that your fish is sick. A few more reasons why your fish might be pale are they're stressed, their water parameters aren't perfect. So if you just notice in passing that your fish is pale, you shouldn't be super worried right off the bat, but if your fish is pale, maybe growing more pale continuously, then that's something that you should take note of, and you should maybe take a closer look at your fish. The second symptom on this list is flashing. I've talked about flashing here and there on this channel, and some of you still don't know exactly what that is because I haven't delved deep into it. Basically, flashing is when a fish flips on its side very fast and very rapidly. It kind of looks like your fish is twitching or maybe even scratching an itch, and that's pretty much what they're doing. A few common reasons why your fish might be flashing are your water parameters aren't great, your water temperature might be too high, or your fish might have ick. If your fish are flashing, I recommend taking a really close look at your fish for ick, testing your water parameters, and checking the temperature of your tank. The third symptom on this list is if your fish is inactive or they're kind of just acting like a zombie. A few reasons why your fish might be acting this way are if your water temperature is too low and it's a tropical fish, their metabolism could be slowing down to match the temperature of the water. Another reason is your fish might have a bacterial infection. When your fish has a bacterial infection, it's using all of its energy to fight off the infection, so it's not going to have a lot of energy to be swimming around and being active. Or your fish is just sulking. I have 4 betta fish. My betta fish have each their own personality, but I've definitely seen them sulk sometimes. And I'm sure many other fish are like that as well. So if you see your fish sulking for 1 or 2 days, it's not a big deal. You should not worry about it. But if it continues on, it's something that you should take a closer look at and keep note of. The next symptom on our list is bloating. If your fish is slightly bloated after feeding, that usually means that you've overfed your fish or your fish just ate too fast. In my experience, if your fish is bloated in the more kind of stomach area where you think your fish's stomach should be, then that is from overfeeding. But if you see your fish has a bloat more in their chest or further up from their stomach, then that's usually less of a good sign. Dropsy is unfortunately never a good thing. It means that your fish is having organ failure. Your fish will become very, very swollen and bloated. A good way to tell that your fish has dropsy is if their scales are protruding, and that's called pine coning. So it's something to look out for. If you think your fish is more bloated than usual, you should really take a close look to see if their scales are pine coning. And usually in that situation, if you haven't already quarantined that fish, quarantine the fish, see if you can help that fish in any way, and if you can't, most of the time people end up humanely putting down their fish. And now onto the 5th symptom of this list, and that is erratic swimming. Your fish could be swimming erratically for many reasons. The good news is in my experience as a fish keeper, the majority of the reason why my fish swim erratically is because they're happy. And that's usually after I do water changes, they're just swimming around having a good time, or they're having some sort of spawny behaviors, or they're just in a good mood in general. A good way to tell if your fish is stressed and swimming erratically is if they're also flashing, or they're swimming in a way that is very, very rapid and they're bumping into things and they seem super nuts. They seem like they're going crazy. Then you should really check your water parameters, maybe make sure the water is not too hot, or just take the fish out in general and put them in a smaller tank so you can have a closer look at them and what they look like, and maybe you can diagnose it that way. Symptom number 6 is unbalanced swimming. There's two kinds of unbalanced swimming to me. There's the kind of teeter-tottering a fish can do when they're swimming straight forward at you, and then there's the kind of unbalanced swimming that is upside down and side to side and very odd. Your fish should not be swimming that way at all. So as for the first part, the teeter-tottering, that usually means that your fish has some sort of bacterial or fungal infection that is making their insides swollen in a way, so swimming to them is a bit uncomfortable and kind of awkward or odd. And when your fish is swimming upside down and side to side, that usually means that they're having a problem with their swim bladder. Number 7 is weight loss. Sometimes it can be hard to tell if your fish is losing weight or not. A way to tell that your fish is underweight is if you can see their spine or if you look at them from on top. So if you have them in a bowl or something and look down on them, they look very thin. A couple of reasons why your fish might be losing weight are they're getting old, which is just kind of what happens when your fish gets old, or they might have parasites. But like many things on the list today, that's a very, very general symptom of a lot of problems that your fish might be having. We just have a couple more things, you guys, and I'll let you go, but the 8th symptom on our list today is clamped fins. Clamped fins are when your fish's fins can't fully extend, or it seems like they can't fully extend. Thankfully, clamped fins are usually nothing to be worried about. You can just find the source of the problem and fix it. Now, it's not the same for every single case. What I would do is I would just check my water parameters and the temperature of the water. And the last symptom on the list today is gulping air. If you notice your fish at the top of the water just staying there breathing air, or very, very frequently going back to the top of the water to breathe air, that usually means the oxygen levels in your tank are low or your water parameters aren't looking very good. In saying that, there are a few exceptions. Corydoras, for example. I love Corydoras. Everyone knows I love Corydoras. I sometimes see groups of my Corydoras going up to the top of the tank, gulping air for a while. And what they're doing is they're regulating their swim bladder. Just thought I'd mention that's pretty cool. I know I have a lot of Corydoras lovers. I don't want to stress you guys out. But yeah, that is my 9 signs of a sick fish. If I didn't list off one of the symptoms that you think is pretty important, please let me know down in the comment section. Now, like I promised, I'm going to let you guys go. But before you do, I want to thank my patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much, Kelvin, Danny, Stormy, Abby, Cam, Skippity Skeep, my mama, Dan the Man, my sister, CJ, Betta Days, Kathy, Lou, and 2. Without you guys, I would not be able to make videos like this, seriously, and I'm forever grateful for you for sponsoring this channel. Pretty much, you guys are my sponsors. If anyone else would like to become a patron of mine, I will leave a link to my Patreon in the description of this video. Like I said earlier, I hope I helped at least one person, but if you like this video, please do drop a like because it helps my channel so much. If you like me, do subscribe because I make videos like this often, and I hope to see you in the next one.